Good morning, students. In our last class, we have discussed the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, and from there we concluded that for a molecule to be formed, right, the bonded atoms around the central atom will arrange themselves in such a way so that there is minimum electronic repulsion between the electrons involved and enhance the maximum stability. Students, you have to keep in mind that in Vesper theory, only the electron pair around the central atom is being considered. We will not consider the lone pair on the bonded atoms. Right? We will only consider the lone pair and the shared electron pair around the central atom, or we can say that of the central atom. Now, Whisper theory, though it was able to explain the shape of the molecule, yet it has got a limitation that it could not explain the shape of all the molecules. There are certain limitations that it could not explain certain shapes of the molecules, as well as the direction of the electron pair is also not rational, right? So hence the theory, that's the Whisper theory, right? Uh, just a new theory was given, that was VBT, or the valence bond theory, right? And it was given by Hitler in London and modified or further developed by Pauling. Now, students, the VBT, that is a valence bond theory. The name again itself suggesting that valence shell, that is valence shell, will be involved here. But here it will be not of only the central atom, but it will be of the other atom with which it is being bonded. Right? Now we are going to just start with the VBT. Now in the PPT, right, we have got the two consideration. One is the energy consideration and another is the orbital consideration. Now we will start with the first, that is the energy consideration. Now you know that whenever a bond will be formed between the two atoms, and that for the formation of the bond, right, the two atoms have to come closer, right? So whenever the two atoms, they will come closer, the two forces will start executing. So can you name what are these two forces? Yes, the two forces will be, first the force of attraction and second will be the force of repulsion. Now force of attraction between which entities, and the force of repulsion between which entities. Now, when the two atoms are approaching, right, they have their own nucleus and their electrons. The force of attraction will be between the nucleus of one atom and the electron of the another atom, right? And the force of repulsion will be between the nuclei of the two approaching atoms and the electrons of the two atoms. Here you have to keep in mind that whenever there is a repulsion, the energy of a system, or the energy of the, we can say, of the species is going to rise up. The force of repulsion rises up the energy and is not going to favor the chemical bond between the two atoms. Whereas the force of attraction, right, it just lower down the energy of the system, and hence it favors the chemical bonding, right? So what we have discussed now is that the VBT, it considers two, we can say that it has been considered in 2 points. The first point is the energy consideration. Here we will assume that whenever two atoms approaches one another, two kind of forces exist. The first one is force of attraction, right? This is between the nucleus of two atoms. We can say the nuclei of the two atoms, between the nuclei of, sorry, it's a nucleus of atom and electron of another atom, right? And second is force of repulsion, that is between the nuclei of approaching atoms and electrons of both atoms, right? And here, students, so whenever there is a force of attraction, what will happen? Energy, students generally here, but the energy which we discuss is the potential energy. So the potential energy of system, system here comprise of the, when the two atoms are close, so we are observing the two atoms, so it is a system for us. So energy of the system lowers down, lowers and favors chemical bonding, right? Hope so this line is visible to you. So the energy or the potential of a system, it lowers and favors the chemical bonding, right? And the second is that the force of repulsion, right students? So this is visible, so I'm just getting the top line removed. So second is that the force of repulsion, so it is going to raise up the potential energy, right, of system and does not favor does not favor chemical bonding between those two atoms, right? So under the energy consideration, we have just gone through four important points. The first one is that whenever the two atoms are going to approach one another, what will happen? There are two possibilities or two things happens. One is the force of attraction. Those two forces work on here. One is the force of attraction and another force of repulsion. The force of attraction will be between the nucleus of one atom and the valence electrons of the other atom, right? And the force of repulsion will be between the nuclei of the two atoms and the valence electrons of the two atoms, right? The force of attraction, it favors the bond formation because the energy of the system gets lowered down, right? So the force of attraction, the potential energy of the system will lower down and will favor the chemical bonding, whereas the force of repulsion, the potential energy, it just rise up or raise up, right? And it is not going to favor the chemical bonding, right? And now we are going to discuss this thing through an example for the formation of the with the formation of the hydrogen molecule, that whether it is going to exist or not. And you know that the hydrogen molecule exists in the form of H2, whereas the helium molecule in the form of He2 doesn't exist. And this statement we are going to verify through the energy consideration of the VBT. Now we are going to discuss the formation of the hydrogen molecule considering the energy energy point of view of the VBT concept, right? So let us assume here that this is a hydrogen atom, right? And we are just denoting this circle the nucleus of the hydrogen, and it has got the electron. Its electron, the one electron which is present of it is this. In similar way, the another hydrogen atom is this one, and its electron, let it be here, right? Now when the two hydrogen atoms, they starts coming closer together, right? They are just brought in the under the influence where the two are where the we get the surrounding situation where both the hydrogen atoms are present, and they start coming together, approaching together. Now what will happen? The force of attraction, right, of the nuclei of this hydrogen atom will operate, right? Earlier there is only one type of attraction of the hydrogen atom, it is with its own electron. Here also with its own electron, but when they will come closer, we will find that this hydrogen atom, it will start attracting this electron, right? So when the attraction will begin, what will happen? The energy is being released out, right? And hence it will lead to the stability. Similarly, this electron will be also attracted over the nuclei of this hydrogen atom, right? So we are going to show it in this way, right, students? So you will see that there are two attractive forces, right, which are formed when the two hydrogen atoms are approaching. So here we will see that the attractive force, how much, students? It is 2, right, in this way. Now there will be, when a particular distance is there, right, what will happen? They will start repelling also one another, that is the nuclei of this hydrogen atom with the nuclei of this, and similarly there will be repulsion between this electron to this electron, right? So double headed arrow is indicating the repulsive forces, right? So the repulsive forces is also coming to be how much? It is 2, right? So the double arrow is indicating the repulsive forces, and single-headed arrow is indicating the attractive forces, right, students? So if you find here that the two forces are balancing one another, right? So hence what will happen? The two hydrogen atoms at a particular distance, the bond will be formed, and that distance is known as the internuclear distance, or that is the equilibrium distance between the two hydrogen atoms, so that a bond is being formed, and we just term it to be a bond length, right? So if you just have a look on the graph where we are just relating the potential energy. This is the potential energy on the y-axis, and the internuclear distance, it is on the x-axis, and here we will just put a dot line which indicates here the zero, the potential energy is zero. Earlier the two hydrogen atoms they were far apart. This is A and this is B. Two hydrogen atoms, right? So we can here indicate to be hydrogen atom A, this is hydrogen atom B. They are far apart, right? That time the potential energy is in the positive value, so the bond is not formed. But when the two hydrogen atoms they start approaching, coming closer, you can see that the potential energy of the system also starts decreasing, right? So as they will come closer, there will be decrease in the potential energy, right? Now here they are approached, and if they further more approaches more closer, what will happen? There will be just the separation, right? And the potential energy is going to rise up again, right? So here you can see that earlier the two hydrogen atoms were having the high energy, right? But when they start approaching, they are just coming closer due to the attractive forces, and hence what happens? There is the lowering down of the potential energy of the system, which is favorable for the chemical bond. With a minimum, we can say the distance which is allowed, right? This is the internuclear distance, right? Between the two atoms which will be favorable for the chemical bond, and that in turn is going to be known as the bond length between the two atoms. And further, if we just bring the two atoms more closer, what will happen, students? Their repulsive forces are going to dominate, right? And the two atoms are going to separate out. Right, student, this is the formation of the hydrogen molecule which is favorable in case of in term of the VBT. Right. So hope so this is clear that the hydrogen molecule formation can be explained on the basis of the VBT, because the magnitude of the attractive forces, right, finally it dominates the repulsive forces, and the potential energy of the of the system decreases and the molecule of hydrogen is being formed, right? So the force of repulsion will be between the electrons or atoms, and force of repulsion will be between the nuclei of the two atoms. Now the force of attraction will be between the nucleus of A and the electron of B, that is the hydrogen atom, and the force of attraction between the nucleus of B and electrons of A, right? So here the magnitude, the strength of the attractive forces will dominate and the molecule will be formed, right students? And this we have understood in term of the potential energy diagram too. Now students, as I discussed just now that the formation of the hydrogen molecule is permissible. Why? Because here the new attractive forces, magnitude of the new attractive forces dominates the magnitude of the repulsive forces. Now diagrammatically we have shown the new forces that is going to exist, right? From the potential energy diagram, right, we came to know that whenever the two atoms are far apart, there is no we can say the energy factor operating between them, or the potential energy of the two system will be high. But when they start approaching to one another, that time what will happen, due to the force of attraction which will occur and go between the two atoms, the energy just lowers down, right, and it favors the bond formation, and there is a minimum distance, or we can say that is allowed that the two atoms can come closer, and further if they come closer, the repulsive forces are going to dominate, right? So that will be the amount of energy will be liberated out to bring the two atoms closer to one another, right? And when and the bond will be formed, and the equal amount of energy will be required to get the two atoms separated, that if from outside we are going to provide that much energy, right, the bond will be broken down, and that is known as the bond dissociation enthalpy. So bond dissociation enthalpy is the amount of energy which is, we can say, released, right, to form the 1 mole of a bond, or we can say it's the amount of energy that will be required to break 1 mole of bond. Right, students? Now we are going to discuss the formation of the helium molecule. So, formation of helium molecule, whether it is permissible or not. Right? So, we will consider here this is the helium atom A, right? First molecule atom, and this is the another atom of helium. This is B, and we are going to consider the nuclei of B. Helium nuclei is another nuclei. So it will be having two electrons, students. This is the first electron, right? And this is the second. Helium has got two electrons. So we are showing it in this way. Similarly, we can show the electron of this system also, this atom also. So we have two electrons here. So when the two atoms are far apart, there will be no kind of attraction and repulsion operating here. But when the two atoms are coming closer together, so students, first of all, we will just count up the force of attraction beforehand. Earlier, there will be only this force of attraction will be there, right? This is the old force of attraction. But when they are coming closer, so we will say that this He is going to attract this electron to itself and this electron also toward itself, right? Similarly, this will also attract this one and this one. So students, here we have just represented that the number of attractive forces. So I'm just going to mention here the new attractive force is how much here, student? It's coming 4. That is, this is 1, right? The same way, this one, right? It is pulling. Okay, I'm just getting this in this way. It is pulling this. The second, this is third, and this is fourth. Right? Now we will write down the repulsive forces. So you can just point out the repulsive forces here, students. Right? So repulsive forces are going to be when the two atoms just come more closer. So they will be. This is first. This is second. In the same way, this E1 with this E2, third, this E1 with this E2. So we can show it in this way. Double-headed arrow are for the repulsive forces. So we are getting 4. This one is the double-headed one, right? This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. And then one more is there, that is between the two nuclei, that is 5. So students, you can see here that the magnitude of the new repulsive forces here is more, because here we are getting the 5 repulsive forces, right, students? So here the helium molecule, when it has been asked you that why the helium molecule is not going to exist, right, from the energy point of view, it is because that the number of the repulsive forces are going to dominate the attractive forces. As a result, the potential energy of the system is going to rise up. So helium He2, that is helium in diatomic state, doesn't exist. Why? Right? It is not going to exist. Why? So you can explain it through this diagram also and the statement also. Because it is why, because the magnitude of repulsive forces, right? Repulsive forces dominates, and hence when the repulsion will force of repulsion is more, what will happen? The energy of the system is going to rise up, and hence potential energy rise up, and stability decreases and doesn't favor bond formation. Right? Repulsion always leads to the instability of the molecule. Right, students, we have to keep this thing in mind that repulsion always will lead to the instability of the molecule. Right? So, students, you have to just get this thing noted down in your notebook and just complete your written work also. VBT has got the second consideration also, that is the orbital concept. Now, according to this, a covalent bond is formed by the a bond is formed by the partial overlapping of the atomic orbitals containing we can say being half filled, right? And there will be the electrons will be present and it will be of opposite spin. The orbital concept considers that a covalent bond is formed by the partial overlapping by the partial overlapping. Now, when we say partial overlapping, student, it means that it's not a complete or overlap. The two atomic orbitals are not going to fuse into one another. It is only a partial, that means a little overlap will be there, so that there is a common area, common region of getting that electron available, right? So partial overlapping means it's not a complete fusing of the atomic orbital, it's to get a common zone, common region. A covalent bond is formed by the partial overlapping of atomic orbitals being half filled. You know that if it's the orbital consists maximum of 2 electrons, if it's a half filled, means it will have only 1 electron. Orbitals are being half filled and electrons have opposite spin, right? So if this kind of overlapping will take place, it will lead to the lowering of the energy, right? So we can say that the partial overlapping of this kind of this type leads to lowering of energy and stability of bond, right? Now let us consider this for the help of the hydrogen molecule, that how this can be explained through the orbital concept. You know that this is the hydrogen atom, and now the orbital concept we will write it as 1s, and you know that it has got the 1 electron. Hydrogen, this is hydrogen molecule, student. This is, sorry, hydrogen atom. It has got 1s electron. Now this is the another hydrogen atom, right? It will also have the 1 electron, but student, when these two hydrogen atoms are coming closer, their electron spin should be in opposite direction, right? So the overlapping will take place in this way, and this area, this is the partial overlapping of the common region. Here we will get these two electrons available. So in this way, so we are getting the hydrogen molecule formed here, right? So for the formation of the hydrogen molecule through the orbital concept, we consider that there will be the overlapping, right, of the half filled 1s orbital of the two hydrogen atom containing the electron of opposite spin, right? And the strength of the bond, student, will depend upon the extent of the overlapping, right? The overlapping, greater the extent of overlapping, strength of the bond is going to be more, right? Now if we have, so this line which I just stated is also important, that the strength of the bond, strength of bond depends upon extent of overlap, right? So the atomic orbital, when they are just getting overlap with one another, it is partial overlap, and greater the extent of overlapping, greater is going to be the strength of the covalent bond. Now one thing more is there. Now through the orbital concept, we are going to discuss more in the later class, right? And just try to explain that why the helium molecule doesn't exist in diatomic state, or helium doesn't exist in the diatomic state. Just student try to explain it.